So I have played the game first on Xbox 360, and now 11 years later, the game still leaves me with a lingering feeling to read and find out more. Chances are, if you love narrative-driven action or the psychological thriller genre, then this game is for you.
He's here. Alan, wake up.
Alan Wake is an interactive narrative-driven game that asks you to stay and listen. The story is so compelling that it will leave you emotionally invested and craving for more by the end. We follow our protagonist, Alan Wake, who is a best-selling thriller author, and after suffering from a writer's block, he and his wife Alice decided to take a vacation at a town named Bright Falls. It wasn't long until a dark presence kidnapped Alice and Alan woke up from a car crash with a partial memory loss. Like a television series, the game is split up into 6 episodes. Each episode is unique, and the game starts its heavy lifting after episode 2. Each episode begins with Alan interacting with the locals to find clues on how to save Alice, while the dark presence expands its influence over Bright Falls at night. The pacing helps to break up the story and serves to create suspense as you dwell on what happened in the current episode. Truly, the character cast is the highlight in this game. Bright Falls feels like a place where everyone knows everybody, and I thoroughly enjoyed the dialogues with all the characters. Instead of rushing to the next objective, it always pays well to stay behind and listen to the conversation, as it adds personality to the characters involved in the story. Now, other than Alan, Barry is another character that you will spend a lot of time with. He has been Alan's best friend since childhood and is his literary agent. He is resourceful and offers comic reliefs during intense situations.
Reason to worry, your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time.
Now, the game does not handhold you on what exactly is happening. You'll get a peek into Alan's thoughts frequently as he narrates throughout the game. It certainly helps to establish the mood and set the tone for how you should feel as Alan continues his journey. The game, though showing through Alan's perspective, has collectibles called the manuscripts. Manuscripts are pages of a story that Alan wrote, which helps to provide backstory and also reveal some insights from the perspectives of other characters. I will not spoil you on how and why these manuscripts are in the game. It's much better for you to just play and learn about it. Now, Remedy Entertainment also featured scenes that they took inspiration from several movie classics, and these were definitely shown well in the game. It struck fear as we were shown the familiar scene in The Shining, or the comical references to the Eye of Mordor in Lord of the Rings. It helped to make the characters relatable and imbued the story with moods associated with the references. For an 11-year-old game, Bright Falls has its beautiful blend of urban buildings and forested landscape. The game features a variety of environments that are packed with details and unique landmarks that are fun to explore. It was never dull for a moment to take in the beautiful sights that are available in Bright Falls. The weather and environmental sound effects can change swiftly as if it was turned on and off by a switch. One moment you are strolling through the dense moonlit forest and suddenly, atmospheric fog would capture the scene and increase the oppressive tension tenfold. The way light and darkness exchange dominance over one another showcased the technical expertise and care by the developer. Other than the visual effects, the music and sound effects boost the thriller ambience of the game, providing much needed feedback during intense situations such as the sharp streaking thrill of the darkness burning and the frequent crow attacks which comes in from unknown angles. So the game is filled with original soundtracks to jam to, and this was highlighted in rock concert sequence. It was such a unique moment that is so memorable that I'll remember the episode for years to come. Kudos to Remedy and also Petrialanko for the solid music scores. Do you need skill to play? No, absolutely not. The game is designed just like a go-kart. You sit in and you drive. It is intuitive and you'll be able to enjoy the experience without any issue. The gameplay is highly accessible and all you need is a flashlight and a pistol. Light and darkness is the core gameplay element in Alan Wake. Light represents safety and darkness represents danger. The checkpoints are marked by the street lamps and the occasional quick-time events generator scattered in the woods. In the game, you will be fighting the Taken. The Taken are local townspeople possessed by the dark entity, who reveals bits of their past life through their garbled speech. However, as the story progresses, the dark presence will also take on the forms of machinery and inanimate objects. Alan's primary weaponry is the combination of a flashlight and the pistol, which will be used in majority of your fights. Once the darkness has been burned out, Alan can fight the Taken with his small yet versatile arsenal. The game will gradually introduce stronger and unique Taken, and to keep the balance, you will be able to obtain better weapons such as the shotguns, the rifles, flares, and also flashbangs. Each weapon has its own purpose, so it's best that you exploit all the advantages that each gives. While there is no crosshair, you can utilize the flashlight to focus down the area where Alan will shoot. The combat loop, while seemingly simple, is actually very satisfying to perform. An aim shot from a flare gun or a well-timed dodge will let Alan perform what is known as bullet time. Time slows and you can admire the beautiful graphics of light particles effects in the darkness. Resource management and spacing is key if you want to survive the nights, as the enemy will try to ambush and swarm you in claustrophobic settings. Your batteries will drain as soon as you focus your flashlight, and bullets will be rendered useless until you burn out the darkness. Shining light on surfaces will help to reveal resource cache hidden all around the map. All in all, I cleared the game with at least 12 hours of gameplay on the normal difficulty. This is excluding the 2 additional DLCs. The collector edition of the game features extra content archived in the game files. Open it and you'll find the files that contribute to the making of Alan Wake, such as original concept arts, soundtrack, and also the music scores used in Alan Wake. You can also expect to find 2 colored comics that expands on the relationship of the characters. But most importantly, you'll find the Alan Wake file, which was written by Clay Stewart. It blew my mind only when I recalled that Clay Stewart was the character that we meet in the dream in episode 1. It documents all the nightmare that he had and what seemed to be a mental connection between him and Alan Wake, though it largely alludes to his observation of the various characters and his findings in Bright Falls. Alan Wake is not perfect, that's a fact. It is easy to get bored from the gameplay loop, getting from point A to B and fighting waves of enemies along the way. But what makes the game outstanding is its ability to make you feel immersed and lost if you want to. The game is packed with beautiful scenes of Bright Falls and features a memorable cast. The story is engaging and by the end, you care for the people who are touched by the dark presence. Large chunks of backstory are inserted at every corner of the map, if you are willing to go explore. Manuscripts, radios, and televisions along the way provide extra tidbits of backstory as long as you spend time listening and reading. Unfortunately, by the end of the 6th episode, you would eventually come to a cliffhanger where you would have to contemplate the bigger issue. Did Alan defeat the darkness? Or did he succumb to it once again? The ending is ambiguous, but as we know by now, it was meant to be a door for the sequel and future DLCs. Remedy had developed the Alan Wake expansion DLC in Control, another game developed by Remedy in 2016. And now 11 years later, we finally had news that Alan Wake 2 is reportedly to be in development. Sure, it probably sucks to know that there is no solid conclusion back in 2010, but now it certainly is the best time to experience the game for yourself. So, was it worth it? Definitely. It's a steal to get the collector's edition for $4, which comes with 2 DLCs and the sequel called Alan Wake American Nightmare. And that's it for today. Do leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe for more content in the following weeks. See ya!